7 whole days. But how have you guys been? I hope that you've been good. I can say I've been okay, but I've been a little bit down lately. I'm sure anyone watching has had their moments where they get depressed as well. And it is what it is, really. It's, I guess, just a part of life. I mean, think about it. You take me depressed, but meanwhile I've got an okay thing going. Roof over my head. Food. More than enough food. I don't have, money right now, but, actual negative balance. But, otherwise, I mean, overall, nothing to complain about. Especially when you factor in that there's people all over the world, who can't eat right now. And some people don't have homes. I've actually been in a situation myself where I was living out of my car. I think I mentioned it a little bit in previous videos. How I discovered it, ASMR for myself and really fell into it. But I do have kind of a funny, well, I don't know if it's funny, but a weird story about when I was living out of my car. So around that time, I was listening to PKA, Painkiller Already. That's that podcast that had Wings of Redemption and Woody's Gamertag and Kyle FPS Russia on it. And back in those days, I'd be it was probably about a week or so, 2 weeks, I was living out of my car. Nothing serious, I guess, but I had cut my foot before I was living out of my car. And when I was in my car, you get sweaty and you have to go and shower at a gym, or if you're working a place of employment. I was working at the time. I was working at a place I really did not like, but one benefit of that place was that they had showers. And because they had showers, I was able to somewhat keep myself clean. But you gotta factor in, if you don't have much clothes, you don't have a change of clothes. And when you don't have a change of clothes, bacteria can get on your clothes. And well, I had this wound on my foot, and I was bored, right? I was chilling in a car all day, didn't have anything to do, had no friends, right? So I had nowhere to be. So I'm sitting there scratching my foot, watching whatever on YouTube. PKA. This is back before I watched ASMR, PKA and stuff like that. And my foot started getting itchier and itchier, and I didn't have any polysporin or anything with me at the time. So I was just kind of crap out of luck. So I look at my foot, right? And I notice there's this red line going up near the vein. I didn't think anything of it, right? I was like, meh. I just want to, I want to be able to go back and sleep in the bed again, But, no, I get back home. And I was back living with my family. And they took one look at my foot and they're like, what the hell? What the hell's the matter with your foot? What happened? And I'm like, what do you mean? It's nothing. My grandfather looks at it, he's like, you need to go to a doctor right now. So, I went to go see my GP. It took a couple days, but we managed to get into a walk-in. He takes one look at my foot, he's like, hey, you got cellulitis. And it was going up. And the thing is, if you leave that long enough, it can cause sepsis. And actually right now I've got an issue with my thumbnail, but I'm keeping that under control till I have money again. But the thing is, that foot thing was intense, right? So I'm sitting there, the doctor gives me these great big pills. I think they're called a Z-Pack or something. I remember I was actually calling the pharmacy one time and asking them about Z-Packs, their contraindications. And she's like, Z-Pack, you mean Z-Pack? I'm like, come on, Z and Z, dude. But, so, going back to when I was put on this medication, these pills are massive. They're queso go to the first bend on your pinky, this here. The pills are that size and as wide as your pinky. So I'm taking these huge pills, right? You had to take one every day. I think it was one every day, one or two. But anyways, it didn't really do anything psychologically to me, though apparently they can cause your heart to stop and kill you, so lovely. But so I'm taking the pills and I'm looking at my foot, having to wrap it up in this gauze, and this like gross yellow pus, like you ever watch Pimple Popper MD. It was like that. It was like something out of like those toe bro, and this stuff was like oozing out of my foot. And keep in mind, I had to go and work at like a water-filled job, right? So I'm cleaning out these showers, and my foot's itching and it's painful, and it was just like, oh my god. For like 2 months, I had to take these pills. I had to change the gauze out every day, and my foot was just like releasing this gross like pus. And I still have a scar to this day. I don't think you'll be able to see it like on the actual camera because, I mean, let's be real, my camera quality looks like I'm like, I don't know, it looks like literally I'm from like a hostage video from like 2006. We're working with what we got, but let's be real. Like, you can literally, if you look at the screen, you might be able to see the dots whizzing around. But no, I had this thing on my foot for so long, and eventually, thank goodness, nothing bad happened, right? But I don't know. I don't even know why I told that story, but I mean, you know, there was a lot of times when I was a kid that I would get sick. If anyone here was like ill a lot as a kid, you might know what I mean. Like if you ever had pneumonia. I remember one time when I was very little, I was a wee lad, a wee penguin, and I'd be walking around doing my thing. I didn't have any friends, let's be real. Like I was the guy who, like, people would feel bad for and be friends with. And I think that people thought that, like, I don't know, they thought I was like brain damaged or something. And like, they were like, oh, you know what? Let's just hang out with him. And it's like, dude, if you don't like me, you don't have to hang out with me. But please, I don't believe I'm brain damaged. I mean, every once in a while I get like that OCD worry that like secretly everyone is like treating me with kid gloves or like I'm brain damaged or something, but they won't tell me. So it's like I'm just walking around, everyone else is living normally, and I'm over here. People are just like, be careful, you know, he's not all there. And it's like, what is that? But back to when I was a kid and sick all the time. So where I'm from, Canada, right? There was this disease that went around called mumps. And if you don't know what mumps is, have you ever seen that picture of the dog that got stung by bees and its face swole up to like massive proportions? And it was like a really round dog. Its head was shaped like an avocado or something. It was like that. And what mumps does is it makes your lymph nodes, like, I think it's your lymph nodes, expand really big, and it makes you look like you put on like 40 pounds, but it's all in like one area. So I remember like right here, I got all big. I look like this. It was like I no longer had a chin, and I was like a skinny kid, so it was bizarre because I had like a huge under chin. Like I looked almost like a frog. And like my mom, so back then my mother had not moved out yet, and she was working as a hairdresser, which is what she went to college for. But she didn't have time, so I was put with my grandparents. And so I was just sitting there in bed, lumps on the armpits, lumps on the chin, just zonked out. And they gave me like these things. It's like this drink, and it's like a banana tasting thing that you drink, and it gets rid of like infections or something. There's also a strawberry one that's pink. But I had the banana one. I remember even after I got better, I kept on drinking it until it ran out. Just because I liked the banana stuff. But the weird thing is, the weirdest thing about this, I'm not BSing you. I looked up the statistics, and like 15 people in Canada got mumps that year. So lucky, right? 1 of 15. I got that limited edition mumps. And hey, what can I say? One of my lymph nodes is like permanently swollen. And I think maybe that's like my trophy for getting that limited edition, special edition XXL mumps. But I mean, and another one. When I was in, I want to say like, oh, and by the way, I got my mumps from some German exchange student. So I guess I got the special edition German mumps. Yeah, das is not good. Das is not good. Nein. But I got it. I got the Rammstein edition mumps. But yeah, I don't know. It's dumb. But no. So when I was really little, this is probably when I was 7 or 8, I got pneumonia. That was fun. So I just remember, it's kind of hard to remember, to be honest. I know I was put on some like antibiotics then. I might have got the strawberry one. Anyone who's in here knows what I mean. There's like this medicine, and it comes in like a bottle. You get it from the pharmacy. And it tastes like this, either an artificial banana, and that one's yellow, or an artificial strawberry, and that one is pink. It looks like Pepto-Bismol. I just really liked that stuff. And so I would just basically chill. I wasn't allowed to go outside because they thought I would get the other kids sick or something. Or maybe they thought I would get sick. But it was a pain in the ass because I remember like I could only breathe. So you know how your normal lung capacity, so your lungs, let's say starting here, goes all the way down to there, right? You can't see it, but like down to about like where your lungs end. I don't know, but I could only breathe like, and it was like painful trying to breathe any more than that. So I'd be like hobbling around like half dead, trying to, like, it's like an asthma attack or something. Cause like I have asthma, so it felt kind of like that, but worse. I'm just hobbling around here half dead. My parents made me go to school, so I couldn't go outside, so I had to stay in the classroom all recess with this damn pneumonia. Like there wasn't anything to do. I didn't play with any toys. I just sat at my desk for like 15 minutes. Amazing. But that's just how it was back then, I guess. I don't know. But no, pneumonia is not fun. And I really do hope that anyone who's been hospitalized with pneumonia got better. Oh, I do have another story. This is from when I was very young. So I remember because of what the doctor said. So I was constipated for a very long time when I was like 5 or so. I didn't eat for like, or rather I didn't, do a number 2 for like several weeks. I want to say 2 weeks. And then one day I just got really ill. Went to the bathroom. I was at my grandparents' house again. My parents weren't around too much. Went to my grandparents' house again and threw up in the toilet when I was there. And they were like, hey, something's up with him. We better take him to the ER. So I go to the ER, the emergency room. They take me there. They give like an x-ray of my stomach. And then the doctor pulls me and my dad aside. We're like in the office. He's like, yes, we found out what the problem is. He's literally full of crap. And like, there was like so much like built up crap. Because I hadn't, crapped that. They were like, okay. They gave me this pill that was like some sort of what is the word? Not a suppository, but it's something that you eat that helps you to like, defecate. They gave me one of those and it cleared up, but stories from when I was a kid. Another quick one was like when I got chicken pox. I think from that same German student. But, whatever, they're fine. No problems against them. I just don't like getting infected with all these diseases, man. But, so, I got the chicken pox, sat home, watched like Spike TV, and like, I thought I was hot shit because I was watching like back when they had TBS or whatever, that movie station, and they aired like those edited for TV movies. I was like, I'm getting one over on my parents. I'm watching Blade, but it's like the edited version, so there's no swearing and like no blood. I watched The Matrix on there too, TBS. It sucks they got rid of that. That was actually pretty good. It sucks they got rid of Spike TV too. Did you ever watch Most Extreme Elimination Challenge? It's a good show. It's a remake of like Takeshi's Castle or something. Or not a remake, a redub. Speaking of dubs, you should watch the movie Matango. It's a toy movie. I guess it's loosely connected with Godzilla because the Matango, which are like giant mushroom monsters, they appear in some Godzilla stuff. There's also, I think it's called Dogora or something. Dogura. And it's like this weird, it's like a blue thing that comes down from the sky with like these tentacles and wants to take diamonds. It's very weird. But Matango and Dogura, check those out. I don't know, like, I was watching Spike TV, stuff like that, MXC. Back then, probably like Dragon Ball Z and stuff on my TV as well. Dragon Ball Z or like Naruto, Freaky Stories, stuff like that. Or Teletoon. There was like this show about these three like sisters. I think it was a French show. I don't know. It was a long time ago, but it was something like that. Ned's Newt, maybe. And Scooby-Doo, of course. But I don't know. Being a kid was just a weird time for me. And like I've got some like downright traumatizing stories that I'm sure people would not want to hear about. Not so much related to like sickness as just like, so I grew up around an area that was right near a trailer park, and a lot of my friends were there, but like they were going through some stuff as kids. I don't know. I just had a weird childhood. Didn't have very many friends. Got sick a lot. But I mean, it was okay. I can't really complain, you know. Though I wish that when I was younger I had gotten into like working out and stuff more. I really do feel like it boosts confidence. I don't know, like there was a time when I cut out all the soda. My favorite was Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. I got rid of those. And now they've got all these cool flavors. I like the chips one, where it's like Reese's Peanut Butter Cups with chips in it. And I mean, like, I've thought about trying some for the channel. Like, they had a PB&J one. I've seen that around. But I don't know, it gives me like really bad acid reflux with my GERD and stuff. But no, I cut out all that stuff. Started lifting. Stopped eating as much. And like, I started to be more confident in myself. And that's something that I would like to achieve again. Like I said, I am at kind of like a low point depression-wise right now. But I'm wanting to get out of that and kind of just be more cheerful, more happy, you know. And I think that things will be good. I just gotta cut out the negativity, cut out the overeating, and yeah. Right now I've been eating a lot of potatoes. We had sliced potatoes with seasoning salt tonight. The other day we had tacos. There's a nacho taco, where it's like a Dorito shell or something. And it's quite good. I like to have a little bit of bullseye on it, as opposed to like, the, what do you call it, chili sauce, where it's like a salsa. I like to put a little bit of bullseye on there instead of salsa, but salsa's good too. Some people like refried beans on tacos. Never really had that. Might be good though. But yeah, I mean, cut that stuff out, work out a bit more. I think it'll be all good. But I wanted to make a video to just kind of touch base with you guys and tell a little bit of weird stories from when I was younger. And I'm going to be working on more videos very soon. I'll try to get some out daily, if not as much as I can. We're getting closer to 3,000 subscribers, which is awesome. I still want to make the Tuvan trigger words video, but it's so hard to find because Tuvan language, there's like no videos about any of it. The only ones that are close is like Mongolian, but Mongolian is a different language to Tuvan. So it's a bit difficult for me. But if I can find something that is actually just words, like individual words, then I will do that. I know that Opal tried to put a thing in the chat for like what it was in the comments, but I guess YouTube deleted it or something. But I'm still going to try that. I'm going to do another Tagalog one very soon, and just stuff like that. People wanted me to do beatboxing and tapping around the house. I'm going to see if there's a way, because like I can't spend much money coming up, because I'm also trying to save for if like my car has issues, and put that aside in a separate account, and maybe I can get more of an education with that eventually. But yeah, it's a slow process, but I do want to eventually get my stuff upgraded. But I've got more videos coming, so I want to wish every single person watching a great night, and I hope that you have a great night or day. I just hope that you have a fantastic 24 hours. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.